In order to avoid possible mistakes during the installation of the decking, we recommend to read the instructions carefully and to consider all aspects. The general information about the material, the installation possibilities, and much more can be found here. This video demonstrates the floating floor installation with a substructure of aluminium. We have chosen a combination of 140 mm and 200 mm decking. The margins will be covered with a termination strip. No special tools are needed for the processing. Commercially available tools for woodworking processes are absolutely sufficient. For the construction of the sample surface, the following tools are required: a job saw, the processing instructions, a pocket rule and a measuring tape, a drill and a countersink, a pencil, the spacers, possibly a jigsaw, a cordless drill, a cleaning agent and cleaning rags, a spirit level, an angle, and a rubber hammer. Now the area can be measured. When the measuring is done, the creation of a drawing is very helpful. It can be determined how the installation pattern of the terrace can look like. Furthermore, this step simplifies the design of the substructure profiles, if for example the impact of two boards or the building of edges should be taken into account. On the basis of the drawing, the substructure profiles can be positioned. When the substructure profiles are positioned, the distances have to be adjusted and reviewed. Now you get a first impression of the base area. Now the installation of the height adjustable lifts have to be prepared to align the substructure. With a cleaning agent, the bottom side of the lifts must be exempted from grease and oil residues. Afterwards, the pads can be attached. This pad protects the ground against scratches and damages. Now the installation of the lifts can be done. The substructure is designed to engage the screws into the provided notch without great effort. Consequently, no pre-drill is required. Upon screwing, no shavings are produced to avoid injuries and damages. When the lifts are installed, the profiles can be connected with the angles. Thereby, the individual strips ensure an extremely stable substructure. The angle can be inserted into the groove and can be screwed without great effort. Support rails were screwed in to later insert the concrete slabs. When inserting the concrete slabs, the whole construction will be weighted, which ensures additional security. When the bearing rails are installed, the substructure is completely screwed and can be placed. Due to the height adjustable lifts, nearly every unevenness of the ground can be compensated. With the aid of a spirit level and a cordless drill, you can easily bring it up to the necessary level in less time. Finally, standard concrete slabs can be inserted. The weight of those slabs is 250 mm and the strength is 50 mm. Hence, the installation of the substructure is completed. The result is a stable frame, which does not have to be attached to the ground and which is, due to the concrete slabs, additionally secured against deformation. Salamander decking can be cut with a standard job saw. The installation of the first floorboard follows now. Firstly, it can be placed on the substructure. A consistently distance to the wall should be ensured with a spacer. After the first floorboard was placed on the substructure, the positions of the clips can be marked. Moreover, the profiles have been stained and covered with a protective coat in advance, so that dirt cannot adhere easily and the cleaning of the surface gets facilitated. Afterwards, the floorboard can be turned around and the clips can be screwed at the mark. The clips placed right opposite will be screwed along the board. This ensures that the boards are on both sides at the same height. Therefore, the small bar at the clips should be removed. All clips are now attached at the board. Now the board can be turned around and adjusted again. The distance to the wall should also be checked again. In the next step, the clips can be screwed on the substructure. Due to the fact that the first board is only attached on one side with the clips on the substructure, the other side can be visibly fixed with decking screws in this case. The attachment is required with the first and the last floorboard. Firstly, the marking can be made and you can pre-drill with a 2 mm drill. Afterwards, the drilling can be countersinked so that the screw can flush finish. Finally, the screwing with the decking screws can be done. If the board has been fixed, the next board can be placed on the substructure. The distance to the wall can be ensured with the spacer again. Mark the board once again and later fix it to the substructure. Afterwards, it can be turned around and marked at every second space of the substructure strips. All clips are now screwed at the marked positions. If you turn around the board, the clips slide under the first attached floorboard. Again, the distance to the wall should be checked and adjusted with the rubber hammer. The attachment to the substructure follows. According to this principle, the following boards can be furnished with clips and screwed at the substructure. The distances to the wall will be checked over and over again. With the attachment of the last floorboard, the clips also can be installed accordingly, and the floorboard can be adjusted. For the visible screwing, it should be pre-drilled, countersinked and screwed here. The excess on the sides can now be cut flush with a circular saw. This results into a cleanly and consistently edge. The installation of the floorboard is finished now. In order to cover the substructure profiles and the chambers of the floorboards, termination strips can be installed. These can initially be adjusted with spacers. The attachment of the termination strips can be carried out visibly. The procedure is the same as in the case of the attachment of the first floorboard, with the order marking, pre-drilling, countersinking and screwing. The terrace made out of lurchi wood is now finished. Salamander Decking Fence and Facade wishes you much success with the installation of your own terrace.